Yo, good morning, guys. Wednesday, March 18th. Here's open right now on NQ. Bias is pretty neutral right now because we're in this 1 hour big gap. So we kind of need to see some direction one way or the other. Last night, I mentioned that if we break this gap to the downside, we would probably go hit this low. And then I said, if we're inside of this range, we're kind of in no man's land because we don't know which way we're going to go after that. And of course, we had this huge candle that inversed this 1 hour fair value gap and took out this low. So overnight, we dumped about 340 points. So let's see what we got. I will say these 1 minute plays, these really low time frame 1 minute or 30-second plays right off of open have been working the past several trading days. We get that big Judah swing at open, the fake out move, and then we get an inverse, and then we start ripping. So we kind of, we get the fake out, and then we might see that. I don't like trading right at open. It's very risky, but those plays have been working the past several days. We do have this gap. So we kind of nicely tapped into that. We could like remanipulate this high and then get a ton of momentum down. I might be interested in a short, but I don't think there's anything clear here yet. We did create these relative equal lows, which could be like a good draw and a break-even spot to go lower. We're right in this big 4 hour gap. 4 hour candle will close at 10 a.m. in about half an hour. It's either going to hold this gap or it's going to break it. And we did have that big move pre-market overnight, so it does make sense why we're maybe chopping. New York AM session all week has pretty much been not as much volume, momentum, or speed as usual. We're just kind of slowly grinding up right now. Nothing remotely good right now. We do have like this 3 minute inverse up, but the stop loss would be pretty massive. And also you have to understand that you'd also kind of be longing into this big 15-minute gap, which could easily reject for lower. So not really ideal either. I mean, it does make sense for us to go higher here because higher time frame, if you look, we tapped into this 15-minute gap very nicely. We came down and swept this liquidity. We're getting like a nice V-shaped reaction here. So it makes sense to go up and kind of rebalance this big impulse leg down that was like 340 points. I would lean further up into here, but it is tough to say because we just came down so much too. So we should go take out this high. We inverse the 5 minute gap. We did not inverse the 3. I think this is starting to look better for shorts now because look, no 15-minute flip here on the 15. We also do have this low resistance liquidity engineering. See how we have this trend line, 4 lows all lining up perfectly on this trend line. The market typically likes to, if we get momentum down like here, it likes to run these all at once. So we did just inverse up and we did just take this high out. This isn't really a convincing sweep of this high though. This is still low volume. We're not getting like fluidity in the market. I just don't really trust this. If we're going to go lower, I'd like to see like one more manipulation up here and then dump. Also, we have the 4 hour candle closing in about 10 minutes here at 10 a.m. This wouldn't be a bad short to try because we inverse the 1 minute. We do have a good break even point here. And you could target all the way down here. I just don't trust the structure. We do have this perfect trend line liquidity to break. I just don't trust it. I think they might want to hunt a little bit higher before making a real down move, if that's what we get. Pretty ugly overall. Remember, it is contract rollover week. Can be slower. We also do have red folder news at 2 p.m. today, so honestly, PM session might be better today. There's literally nothing I see since open that was worth taking. Even like small scalps right at open, there wasn't even anything. All right, guys, so what I see now is we're about to put in this 1 hour order block at 11. So we're about to inverse this 1 hour bullish fair value gap here and put in a 1 hour order block below it. So if we close below this at 11 a.m., I think we do have a good chance of dumping to these lows. And we do have these relative equal lows down here as well. That would be a good draw on liquidity. So if we can get this 1 hour close below and put in this order block on the 1 hour, I'd potentially be looking for shorts. And I would want to see a nice tap into this 5-minute gap and then an inversion down, which also lines up really well with this 15-minute gap here. So if we can tap into this 15-minute gap, which is also a 5-minute gap, which we're doing right now, we could get a nice inversion back down. It would be very interesting. However, it doesn't look like the 1 hour is going to close below this gap. This candle closes in 20 seconds at 11. And if the candle doesn't close below this black line, then it wouldn't be putting in that order block either. Now we have this this big 1 hour wick here. So that's the 11 a.m. candle close right there. Now, if we flip this 5-minute gap and this 15-minute gap and close above it, then that's going to be a different conversation. I think this gap is going to be the determining factor for the rest of this AM session. One thing to be careful with is we are tapping into this small 15-minute gap right here, which could be a bit of a roadblock. We could come up here, fill this, and then head lower. I am tempted to take longs here. So the 15-minute is closing right now. We did inverse this 15-minute, but this gap is still here. What did I say? We looked long here, but I said be careful of the small 15-minute gap. Tapped into it perfectly and rejected. This looks like it's going to sell off now. But my condition right now is if we break this 5-minute, I'm looking for lower. We're also heading into lunch soon. It's 11:30 right now, so price could lose some volume and just chop. Tough spot right now. We finally got some momentum. Yeah, I think we dump. Starter position. Five micros. Look at that momentum down. I saw volume come in here. Looks beautiful so far to follow through to these lows. Wait, what? Why did it scaled 3 contracts? I had 5. Yeah, I'm gonna scale I'll scale another 2 contracts there. Gonna put stop loss at break even for now. For the remaining 5 micros. This looks really good on the 1 hour to go lower. See how all these 1 hour candle bodies held perfectly right here? And then this candle finally breaks outside of it, while also closing below this 1 hour gap. Really want to see us hold this 1 minute bearish FVG. If we break above it, we'll tag the rest out for break even. This looks really good for lower. If we accelerate through these lows, edging my break even stop right now. This would be sick if we flushed. Come on, give me a close under this 30-second. Give me this 30-second inversion. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we just took this low. Might get a reaction up off this big 30-second gap here and then further down. Yeah, I don't really care if the rest stops me out at break even somehow. I'm just going to let these last 5 micros ride. I already got 30 points out of half of my position. Looking really good here. Up about $400 on the remaining 5 micros. I mean, if you look at the 1 hour, where does it look like we're going? See, we're heading here in general. Now, could it stop me out and then go there? Or could it just chop? Yeah. Come on, baby. 1 minute inverse to the upside. Big 1 minute bullish candle. It should stop me out here. Just stop me out, bro. I gotta get on with my day. There it is. All right. Alt there for break even. Honestly, we probably pump higher now because look at this 1 minute inverse. I think we retrace up a little bit and then flush lower. At least we got one small W trade on the day. 1 minute inversion up here, short down to these lows.